Hey, it's Clay at claycharter.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Thursday, June 16th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. Real quick, a couple clarifications. This number you see here will be changing around, and then the candlestick will still be moving. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. So just keep that in mind. And then also I'll be using the 30-minute time frame. So for you beginners, what that means is that each one of these candlesticks, as they're called, represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one here, ticker symbol NIO, very popular stock. And it's once again regaining popularity as this move has been very, very solid. I mean, to think that just not that long ago, the thing was flirting around down here at $16, and now it's, knocking on the door of $20. But overall, a new breakout has occurred, and this will mean a bit more to those of you that watched the previous video, but talked about this area here around 1910 being that key area of resistance. But you can see once it was broken right there, a very, very beautiful breakout. And that's also what leads into the first update. And this update is just based on a foundational rule in charting, which states when levels of resistance are broken and closed above, you want to see them act as support. So moving forward now, $19.10 is going to be that near-term area of support. And then from more of an overarching standpoint, as far as supports are concerned, you have the 50 period and the 200 period moving averages as support, but they're kind of irrelevant right now given that the price is way up there. But nonetheless, they are still levels of support. But yeah, preferably speaking, what's going to make the chart look the best moving forward, that would be if the price could stay above 1910. As far as areas of resistance are concerned, the next key battleground that a lot of people will be watching, and rightfully so, going to be right up there at $20.50. And you can see that is coming from these highs from back in here during the 8th and 9th of the month. But overall, another great day, good breakout. So let's see if this momentum can continue. Next one, SIDU, and wow, what a move. And this is why I like to do these videos when the market is still open, because as I speak, you can see another big breakout is underway here during this last 30 minutes. And that's really going to be the big dynamic moving forward. And, to take a step back, what's the idea? What's the philosophy behind a watch list? Well, to find unique, to find interesting situations, and not just randomly buy, but, well, to watch them and see if they behave in a manner that ultimately fits your personal trading strategy. And in this situation, is this a unique situation? Is this an interesting situation? Well, of course, absolutely. I mean, check out this late day break. The price already did get the breakout. So yeah, if you're looking to play a breakout, well, that has already occurred. But that doesn't mean that this thing can't consolidate and then maybe give another breakout point. So that's what I mean by watching. You want to find those unique situations and watch. And if you are a breakout player, at this point, like I said, you missed the breakout, but that doesn't mean that another potential breakout formation, can occur. Now, if you do like to play pullbacks, there's a very clear defined pullback area right down here around that former breakout area at $3.25. So that's a potential, trade plan you could put together. But yeah, as far as breakouts are concerned, that hasn't quite happened, or it's already happened, but you'd have to wait for another new formation. But at the core, great movement, great volume. And if you like this price range down below $10, then I definitely say get this one on your watch list. Next, AERC, and a beautiful pattern here. Now, granted, sure, it's pulled back here a little bit this afternoon, but that in and of itself is what has formed the pattern. Now, this is a matter of perspective, meaning if you're some sort of day trader, flipper, scalper, and you bought right there at those highs and you wanted to buy and sell within 10 minutes, well then, okay, from that perspective, yes, the chart's looking pretty bad. But assuming you care about more of a bigger picture perspective, that pullback, like I said, has actually helped create this nice bullish pattern. So to finish off this pattern, let me get the big momentum move right there in play. And this is what we would call a bull flag pattern. Now, just because it's a bullish pattern, there are no guarantees. So that doesn't mean that for sure guaranteed the price is going to move higher. But I don't think it would catch anybody off guard if this thing ultimately moved higher. So if you do like to play bull flags, and if you're looking for some sort of potential breakout through the upside to get more continuation, then this one should be on your watch list. Next, AMZN, Amazon, very nice move on this one. And this is, once again, did you miss the breakout? Somewhat, because there's other breakout points, but the original breakout was this trend line right there, which you can see got the breakout during that opening 30 minutes. And since then has made a very, very nice move. So you already have a breakout underway. But once more, the idea of a watch list, this is still an interesting situation. And if this breakout is just getting started, so in other words, if we're looking back at this in a couple of weeks and saying, wow, look at Amazon now, it's at 125, then okay, well, there's still a lot of upside here. Now, of course, that's not what, and nobody knows if that'll occur. But my point here is that, yeah, sure, the original breakout has already occurred, but that doesn't mean that new things can't quite transpire. So I'll get rid of these lines to kind of illustrate that with the next key breakout. So like I said, that breakout already occurred, but the next breakout you could potentially watch right here at 109, which a bunch of people are going to be watching. So you have that whole idea of a potential self-fulfilling prophecy. But I mean, this is just classic technical analysis. You can see right there that area acted as support, and then when the price broke below it, you would expect it to act as resistance, and that is exactly what's happened, not once, but actually twice today. So 109, you're going to have all sorts of people watching that level. So as I've said and will continue to say, does that guarantee anything? No, but does it make it plausible to think that if the price goes up to the 109 and breaks through it, that could create more buying pressure? That is absolutely a plausible thought process to have. Next one, AMC, and another very nice day, and this all will mean a tad bit more to those that have watched past videos, but if you have, you know that I drew this trend line in place on Monday, and I've said, just follow that trend line. And as long as the price continues to stay above that trend line, then you got to give the benefit of the doubt to the bulls right now. And not only did the price stay above the trend line today, and I should note, again, the power of charts, but right there. Check that out. Basically bounced right off that trend line again this morning. Not exactly, but hopefully we all agree. Got very, very close. And then from there, not only stayed above it, but actually separated further and further away from it. So at this point, that green line almost kind of seems irrelevant, but that in and of itself is a good sign to show you just how powerful of a day it was. And then, yeah, the other nice part, price came up here and just blasted through that area of resistance right there. So overall, the uptrend continues. And now I'll just get rid of that level there because, again, from the overarching standpoint, just continue to watch that trend line as support. But as far as the next level of resistance is concerned, the level here that now stands out that I think a lot of people will be watching moving forward is that former consolidation area right up there around $13.10. So keep a close eye on $13.10 as that'll be a next key point. And then even from now that I look at it from a pattern perspective, you had the nice move there. You had the pullback. You have some lines right there. Put a little flag down, put a golf hole down there. We have ourselves a little bull pennant pattern in and of itself. But overall, AMC continues to grind higher. Real quick, I want to take a pause and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online class that I'm offering here very soon. So if you've been enjoying what you see and you want to learn more about this tool, how it should be used to help build consistency as a trader, then certainly get signed up for the free class. If you're watching on my site, there's an area right there on the webpage that you can click to get signed up. If you're watching on YouTube, then down in the description box, there's an area that you can click to get signed up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more, certainly get signed up for the free class. Next one, EVOK, and this one's on the watch list for one reason alone. Such a well-defined breakout area, and let me be very clear, I'm not trying to impress you by implying that this is a great discovery or I have some sort of special talent. In fact, the exact opposite. I assure you a lot of people have taken notice of this level, and I say all that because when a lot of people are watching the same level, wondering the same thing, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can create some big dynamic movements. And in my mind, there's going to be a lot of people watching $3.30. That is essentially the top part of this consolidation pattern. And I realize that right now, as I talk last 30 minutes, pretty rough. But that in and of itself is actually potentially a benefit because after a very rough move like this, if the price can recover back upwards, that in and of itself is a nice sign of strength because that would be a recovery from a pretty rough 30-minute session here. But then on top of that, and maybe potentially the final confirmation point that people would be using is, okay, that's great that the price has recovered from that last 30 minutes. But now look, oh, wow, now it's even breaking through there. So that in and of itself, again, guarantees nothing, but is that a plausible thought process to have? Could somebody accuse you of just making up a trade? No, that's a lot of good logic that would go behind that. So 330, definitely a very interesting level. And then as far as supports are concerned, if this does pull back some more, potentially an area of support down there right around the 285 mark. So like I said, if you like to play breakouts, you like to play this price range, here you go. Next one here, AMD, and same exact logic as what I just talked about, which is why I put this one in the watch list because I don't want to repeat myself over and over again. So this line that I'm about to draw, by no means is some sort of secret discovery. A lot of people watching it, so we do have potentially that self-fulfilling prophecy attribute. But it's this trend line right there. I mean, check that out. Absolutely beautiful, to the point. You can see now that these couple levels have been rejected right off the trend line. So guarantees, no. Rational, plausible to think that if the price can get up to that trend line and get a break up through it, that could create some additional buying pressure. Absolutely. So if maybe, the previous one was a little bit too low of a price range, here you have one higher price range, but same general concept behind it. Next, REV, and kind of a bizarre looking chart. I mean, at the core, there's a pattern here, but at least for me, in my eyes, it just seems a little goofy. But what is this pattern and what makes this interesting, and you'll have to look closely, but again, interesting situations, unique situations, is that purple line there had been very, very stubborn, very annoying. Price got close to it, failed. But then when you look closely, the last 30 minutes there, the price is actually above it. So that leads to a very important question. Hey, a breakout has occurred. Is this the start of something bigger? Now that question may seem kind of weak, like, what are you talking about? I want to know if it started of something bigger. Well, nobody knows that. Nobody can tell the future. But the core point here is think about what's needed to happen for me to be able to even ask that question. Well, something worthwhile has needed to happen in the first place. In many situations for stocks, nothing worthwhile ever happened, so you can never even ask, oh, wow, is this the start of something bigger? But in this situation, it did happen by breaking up above that purple line. So to be fair, I mean, it's a two-sided coin. Maybe it's not. Maybe this thing just drifts right back downwards. That's why you want to watch. But again, to be fair, it's a two-sided coin. So maybe this is the start of something bigger, and all of a sudden this thing's going to explode to the upside. So both of those could potentially be, happen. But the idea here is, okay, at least we got to break out in the first place to observe. So like I said, if you like to play these sorts of situations, if you like breakouts that have begun, but you're like, let's see if it can get some continuation, then of course down in this price range, here you go. Next one, PLTR, which it's been a while since I've done this, but I'm having deja vu here with AMC because the same general idea is taking place here. Because if I get this trend line in place, you can see that this trend line has done an absolutely fantastic job of showing that, yeah, slow and steady is winning the race. The price continues to work higher and higher. Now, there's been pullbacks along the way. There's a pullback, there's a pullback, there's a pullback. But each of these pullbacks is clearly putting in those higher lows, which is, what's allowed this trend line to keep moving higher and higher. So I don't want to repeat myself over and over again, but same general premise as AMC. Follow that green line. That's the support line. That's the trend line. That's showing you that as long as the price stays above that line, well, then by definition, that implies that the price is putting in those higher lows, which is what it's all about when it comes to trying to turn around, an entire trend. As far as next areas of resistance are concerned, you're going to have everybody and their brother's uncle watching that pink line up there. That is the very famous, the very well-known 200 period moving average, currently valid. Let's just call it $8.50. So keep an eye on that. But yeah, overall, past few days have definitely been grinding higher and higher. Next one, TSLA Tesla, and a very nice move here, and one where I think a lot of eyes, at least my eyes, will be on, and like I said, put this one, or I actually put the previous one in that spot because it's all about that pink line. Once again, 200 period moving average, very, very famous level, a level that will be watched. And you can see now that the price is oh so slightly just underneath it. And within that, you have this little miniature bear flag, bear pennant, whatever you want to call it. But the point here being is you have this little miniature bullish pattern. And can the price get the push up through the upside and get the push up through that moving average? And if it does, once again, as I've said a million times, does that guarantee that there's going to be a buying surge and more momentum to the upside? No. But is that at least a rational thought process to have? Absolutely. So as far as areas of resistance are concerned, very curious about that pink line up there, right around that $711 mark. As far as levels of support are concerned, so if this thing decides all of a sudden turn around, then an area that I'd be very curious about from a support standpoint, right there at the $670 mark, which also happens to essentially coincide with that purple line there, the 50 period moving average at 672. But we're talking about a $600 stock here, so a dollar here or two, they're here or there, not going to be that big of a deal. But overall, those would be the main dynamics I'm watching for Tesla. So that wraps up the top 10. Again, if you like what you saw here and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to help build consistency as a trader, then get signed up for the class. Like I said, it'll be very soon. It will be Thursday, June 16th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So I hope to see you there. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy this format, then please help me out by doing two easy things. Hit the like button, leave a simple comment. Those two things go a long way in communicating to me that you enjoy. And as long as I know people are enjoying these videos, then I will continue to put in the time and effort required to get this content out to you. So again, get signed up for that free class. Hit the like button, leave a simple comment down below. Everybody, thanks for watching. Take care. Have a good one.